Hi everyone, welcome to Go Classes. In this lecture, in this video, we will solve this GATE 2021 question. So this is a GATE 2021 question from DBMS subject. This is based on decomposition. So you have a relation, and in this relation, these are the functional dependencies, and two decompositions are given to you, D1, D2. These are the two decompositions given, and the question is asking which of these decomposition is lossless or lossy. Okay, you can notice that d1 comma d2, both of these are actually, I can say that these are actually non-binary. So this d1 comma d2, these are non-binary. This is also non-binary decomposition, because how many sub relations we have here. So this is also non-binary decomposition, and this is also non-binary decomposition. You can notice in this d1, in this decomposition, we have total four relations, so four sub relations. In d2 also we have total four sub relations. Okay, so in this situation, remember, don't apply the successive joining method. So this is the mistake that many students will do, that they will apply the successive joining method. Remember one thing, that successive joining method is not a reliable method. Okay, so if you get to the answer lossless, okay, so this successive joining method, so let me tell you again this point. We have already seen this point, and I have already given you one example where this successive joining method, this successive combining method, basically this will actually not work. This will fail in some examples, this will fail. So this successive combining method, this is a one-way method, so this is only a one-way method. So you can notice that if this method says that answer is lossless, then answer will be lossless. But if this method says the answer is lossy, then answer may or may not be lossy. So remember this method, if this gives you answer lossless, so if this method says that answer is lossless, if this method says answer is lossless, then remember, if this method will give you answer lossless, then remember the answer will be actually lossless. The actual answer will be lossless, I can say. The actual answer also will be lossless. But you can notice if this method gives you answer as lossy, if this method says that answer is lossy, then you can notice the actual answer may or may not be lossy. This actual answer may or may not be lossy. So this is the point. So that is the reason this is not a reliable method, may or may not be lossy. So remember this point. Okay, so this successive combining method we will not apply. And whenever you have non-binary decomposition, always try to apply the chase algorithm. So the chase algorithm is the best algorithm that you can apply for this question. Okay, let's apply this algorithm. Okay, we will solve this d1 also d2 with the chase algorithm. Okay, and chase algorithm is actually very simple. It is time efficient. Okay, so it will save a lot of time if you apply the chase algorithm, and this is very simple, and let's apply it. Okay, so this is D1. This is the set of functional dependencies that is given. Okay, now let's apply the chase algorithm. So the chase algorithm says that the columns will be created for these attributes. So if we have attributes P, Q, S, T, X, Y, Z, W. So okay, these are the columns P, Q, S, T, X, Y, Z, W. These are the columns. Now let's make it. Okay, so these are the columns that we have. Columns will correspond to the attributes, and the rows will correspond to the sub relations. So you can notice total four. We have total four sub relations. So you can notice this R1, R2, R3, R4. These are the sub relations that we have. Now let's see for D1. Okay, now you can notice in this decomposition, R1 has PQST. So these are the entries. So let's make the entries. So PQST, PQST, these are the A entries. In this R2, we have PTX. So in this PTX, you can notice here P, here T, here X, and here again QY and YZW. So you can notice here you have QY and here you have YZW. So this will be YZW. Okay. So this is the initial setup. Okay. So this is what we have done. Now let's see what we can do further. Now you can notice here that P determines Y. Okay, so you can from here you can notice Y determines Z. Okay, so let's take this Y determines Z. So whenever Y value is same, you can notice in these two tuples Y value is same. So here in these two tuples Z value also will be same. So you will put Z here. You can notice Y determines W. Okay, just look at it here. Y determines W. So in these two tuples Y value is same. So in these two tuples Z W value will also be same. So you will put A here also. Okay, so this is the point. Now you can also see that Now so let's do this. Okay, so this is what we got here. So we got a here, we got a here. Okay, so these are the two entries we got. Now what else we can do? Okay, so after this you notice that again, so q determines y. Okay, so you can notice that q determines y. So in these two rows q value is same, so in these two rows y value will also be same, so we will put a here because q determines y. Okay, and you can notice p determines y. Okay, now we can also see that p determines y because p determines y. So if two rows have same p value, then these two rows will also have same y value, so you will put okay a here also. Okay, so this is what we got actually. Okay, so these two entries I can make it here. So these two entries you got now a. Okay, now what else we can do? Now from this what else we can do? So these two entries we got here a. These are the two entries we got. Okay, now from this you can notice that y determines z. Now you can notice again y determines z. So in these rows y value is same, so in all these rows z value will also be same, so a. Similarly y determines w, so in these rows w value will also be same. So finally what we got, I can say that this we got a, this we got a. Okay, so so far this is what we have done. Now let's see what we can do. Okay, now you can notice that. Okay, what else we can do here? So from this now, okay, what else we can do? So p determines x. You can notice p determines x. Just take this p determines x. So in these two rows p value is same, so in these two rows x value will also be same, so just put a here. Okay, so now you can notice now what we got. Now you can notice this is what we got. So we got a row with all the a entries. So this is what we got. So this is what we get, that all the a entries. You can notice this is a row, this is a row with all a entries, with all a entries. So because we got a row with all a entries, so I can say this is a lossless decomposition. Okay, because we got this all the rows we got with a entries. So remember this decomposition d1, this is actually lossless. Why? Because we got this row in which we have all the a entries. Okay, so this is how you can check for d1. Now we will check for d2. So this is the decomposition d2. Okay, in let's check for this decomposition d2. So now we will check decomposition d2. Okay, and these are the set of functional dependencies. Then again we will create the table. So okay, again pqst xyzw. So pqst xyzw. So this is the table that we will get. So columns will correspond to the attributes and rows will correspond to the sub relations. So we have total 4 sub relations, and you can notice in this R1 we have PQS. So what we will do, we will make entry here PQS. So this is where we will make entry. Okay, so here we will make entry, here we will make entry, here, and you can notice TX. So this means TX. So here we will make entry, and you can notice QY. So this is here we will make entry QY. Okay, and you can notice the finally yzw, finally yzw. So this is the table we got. Okay, this is the initial setup. Now let's see what we can do. Okay, now you can very easily notice that y determines zw. What it means? So if y value is same, then zw value also must be same. In these two tuples y value is same, so in these two tuples zw value also must be same. Okay, so this is what we got. So I can say that right now this is what we got right now. Okay, so this a. Okay, now let's see, now let's go further. So can we do something else? So okay, now after this you can notice that q determines y. Okay, so q determines y, and you can notice in these two rows q value is same, so in these two rows y value also must be same. So what I can do, I can put a here. Okay, so once I put a here, what will happen? So as soon as I put a here, so in this, okay, now again you can notice that what we can do, again we can apply this y determines zw. So in these rows y value is same, so in these rows actually z and w value will also be same, so you will get a here also. Okay, so this is what we are going to get, correct? So finally this is what we are going to get. Okay, so let me just make it. Okay, so this is what we are going to get, because here, okay, so in these rows y value is same, so in these rows I can say zw value will also be same. So finally what we got is, here we got a, here we got a. Okay, after this can we do something? Okay, so why this we cannot apply now? Because this will not make any changes now. Okay, q determines y, so q determines y, that also will not make any changes. P determines yx, this also will not make any change. And pq determines x, because you can notice, first of all you can notice this will not make any change now. Okay, so this will not make any change, this will not make any change, because in these two rows q value is same, and in these two rows y value is also same, so no problem. And you can notice that this also will not make any change, because two rows doesn't have p same value. Okay, in p two rows don't have same value. Similarly, two rows don't have same pq value, two rows don't have same pq value. So I can say that now we cannot make any change. Okay, at this point of time no change is possible at this point of time. So finally I can say that now there is no change possible. Okay, so remember, at this point of time you can notice that no change possible. So what I can do, I can say now no change possible, because no change possible. Okay, and you can notice there is no row with all entries. So there is no row with all a entries, with all a entries. So what you can say, so this is a lossy, so I can say this is actually a lossy decomposition. So this d2 is actually a lossy decomposition. Okay, this d2, this d2 I can say this is a lossy, this is a lossy decomposition. Okay, so the answer will be what, d1 is lossless, d2 is lossy. So d1 is lossless and d2 is lossy decomposition. So the answer will be option A. Remember, in this question non-binary decomposition is given to you. Whenever they give you non-binary decomposition, the best method is chase algorithm, because remember successive combining method is not reliable. First of all, successive combining method will take a lot of time. Second, that is not reliable, means we have already seen one example where successive combining method will give you wrong answer. Okay, successive combining method is one way. So if the successive combining method tells you that answer is lossless, then answer will be lossless, fine. But if successive combining method tells you that answer is lossy, then the actual answer may be lossy, the actual answer may not be lossy. Okay, so remember successive combining method is not reliable. Okay, that is the reason whenever they give you non-binary decomposition, means if they decompose the relation into three or more relations, then you can apply the chase algorithm. Okay, we have taken many examples of the chase algorithm, you can check out all the videos. Okay, the explanation of chase algorithm you can check it out on our YouTube channel. Okay, and you can just you can solve all these type of questions very easily in a correct way. Okay. Okay,